Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has announced plans to introduce legislation to help children under the age of 16, to ban children from the age of 16, under the age of 16 from the use of social media. There will be no exceptions, even for users with parental consent. The legislation is expected to be introduced to Parliament by this year, with laws set to take effect 12 months after they are ratified by lawmakers. The proposal is said to have garnered bipartisan support. If successfully rolled out, this would be a global first. Natasha Gutierrez tells us more about how Australian lawmakers are planning to enforce this age ban and how activists and privacy groups are reacting to this proposed regulation.
On enforcement, that remains unanswered. Prime Minister Albanese called this age ban world-leading legislation. But the question, of course, is how will it be implemented? Well, the government wants younger users off social media, but in actuality, it's leaving it up to platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to figure out how to enforce age limits. Age verification, as we know, has always been a challenge, and it's debatable how feasible it really is. Currently, even if platforms ask for the user's age to create an account, they're still easy to get around. In fact, age verification technology is still being tested by the government, so the details are not yet clear. But the Prime Minister did say they will provide regulatory guidelines on what reasonable steps can be taken by these platforms to comply with the law. We also know that it's Australia's e-Safety Commissioner that will be responsible for ensuring compliance. Now, overall, there actually has been growing support for the idea in Australia since the federal government first announced in September that it planned to legislate a social media ban. But yes, there's been some backlash from privacy groups. And that's because while age verification technology is unclear, some suggestions, including self-reporting, parental consent, facial scanning, or estimating users' age based on their appearance or behavior, can be problematic for privacy. Many of these approaches raise significant privacy concerns since users are essentially handing over ID documents or other personal data over to social media companies. And so to protect user privacy, the government has suggested using a third-party provider who would certify the child's age so the information is not directly given to social media platforms. But again, that has not been tested before. So at this point, we just have to wait and see what solutions could address privacy concerns while also tackling the loss of intention.